in the Township Clerk's office on January 8th, 2021. The public will be allowed to participate pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law and the Emergency Remote Meeting Protocol for local public bodies. The public is reminded that civility and decorum will be maintained during the meeting. Any contracts awarded at this meeting or between now and the next meeting will be required to comply with the requirements of Public Law 1975, Chapter 127, NJAC 17:27. Please take note that this meeting is being recorded for possible future broadcast on Howell Television.
Are there any reasons to go into executive session this evening?
Yes, Mayor, we have items to discuss pertaining to contract negotiations and litigation.
So may I have a motion?
Motion to go into executive session?
May I have a second?
A second.
If I may read the resolution. Resolution authorizing executive session, whereas the governing body of the Township of Howell is authorized pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12 to exclude the public from that portion of this meeting for purposes of discussing specific matters as permitted by NJSA 10:4-12. And whereas the governing body of the Township of Howell intends to discuss certain matters which are deemed confidential pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12 in executive session. Whereas at this time, the governing body of the Township of Howell cannot determine the time when the discussion to be held in executive session will be made public, but will disclose the minutes of the executive session when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the Township of Howell that this meeting shall be adjourned to an executive session and the public will be excluded in order that the governing body of the Township of Howell may discuss the items previously listed, and upon reconvening this public meeting, the presiding officer will announce if possible the time when and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in executive session will be disclosed to the public. Roll call, Mr. Bonovich,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell,
Yes.
Ms. Richmond,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Russo,
Yes.
Mayor Berger.
Yes, I haven't heard that in so long. I didn't realize how long it was.
Yeah. It's long.
So I'm gonna,
Mayor, if I may, did
Yeah.
everyone get the other link for the executive session?
yes,
So we'll be logging out of this and into the other.
okay. Thank you.
See you in the other meeting shortly.
I would like to open the meeting, the general meeting this evening at 5:01 p.m., January 26, 2021. Can't believe it's the end of the month. The executive session minutes from tonight's meeting can be disclosed to the public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. At this time, I would like to stand and say a pledge of allegiance, but I also believe that we need to take a moment of silence for Mayor Susan Weitenwooper. She was, I got to know her, and she was really a nice lady, and she really wanted what was right for the town. I enjoyed her. So I just, for everyone who knew her, you had a good person in your life. So if we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would like a motion to accept the minutes of December 8th, 2020.
Motion to accept the minutes, Mayor.
Thank you. Oh, before I begin, I'm so sorry. I forgot something that I wanted to say in the beginning. Oh, go ahead. We'll finish this piece and then I'll go. Go ahead. So we accept, I'll go now. I'm sorry. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell. I think that was a yes. Ms. Richmond,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Russo,
Yes.
Mayor Berger,
Yes. I wanted to just throw out some kudos. We have 13 educators from our town from 8 of our schools who have been selected as New Jersey Exemplary Education Professionals in 2020. So I would like to read their names because this is amazing. It's really amazing. Christina Saraceno, 2nd grade at Adelphia. Stella Cohen, instructional coach at Ardena. Larissa Sack, instructional music at Ardena. Tina York, computers at Ardena. Michelle Mack, computers at Greenville. Erin Lohman, instructional coach at Griebling. Amber Williams Allen, extended day preschool for the disabled at Lander Pines. And Angela Ocone, special ed at Memorial Elementary. I didn't say teacher at the end, but they're all teachers, and I just wanted to say kudos to them and kudos to Howell Township for hiring them. So, Deputy Mayor, do you have anything? Oh, I have more on the back. I'm sorry. Sky Donzelli for computers at Memorial. Shannon Carusi for special ed in Ramtown. Kimberly Hiley, 5th grade in Ramtown. Patricia Lawler, physical ed at Ramtown. And Jennifer Corey, special ed at Taunton. I'm so sorry. But I just wanted to do kudos for that. Deputy Mayor, do you have anything?
Thank you, Mayor. First, props to our teachers. To join you in congratulating our teachers. I'm a product of the public school system here, so thank you for that. So the Business Recovery Task Force, Mayor, I just wanted to update the council on 3 major items that we've been working on. We actually been talking for a little while about a SHOP local property tax reward program. Brick Township does it. I think I mentioned it a couple of meetings ago. Marlboro, Alpin, and they have great success with this program.
I brought it up a couple years ago.
Yeah, no, it's
a great program.
It's been talked about a lot, and so we've been trying to figure out the details of this program, whether it be beneficial for us to recommend that we look into as a council. We did. We talked about it extensively, and we're at a point now where the task force would like to kind of punt to the council to see if it's something that we would like to adopt. I think it's a great program. I know you, Mayor, you said you liked it. I guess the next step would be for us to kind of maybe talk offline or talk on a dais about the program in more detail. Maybe perhaps have one of the representatives from the company who would put this program on to come speak to us and do some kind of presentation. I think it's
We should do it at a council meeting. Could we do that at a council meeting? Have somebody give a presentation to us?
That'd be great.
Prior to that, Tom, can you share what you got from the task force as far as, I'm sure there's results in Bricktown and Marlboro. I like to see the results, how many businesses are in or out.
So,
And, maybe, hopefully, it's, this is COVID times. Brick in Marlboro, they joined years ago. The fees might be a little high. Maybe we have to work with this company to get the fees down. It's a little bit different of a world, but if we could get with who signed on, who didn't sign on in those towns,
absolutely.
it would be great prior to that. So,
Yeah, so the representative from the organization that puts this program on, I think we should have him at the next meeting, and we'll do a Q&A, and he'll have all the detailed questions about the program, whether you're right, whether we can do it now. These programs, though, according to the representative, have been through this difficult time. They've continued the program, which is a good sign that it's working. There's really no long-term commitment. My knowledge, it's you can leave whenever you want with a few months' notice. The fact that they continue to have this program is a good sign that it's working through this pandemic. And over time, like you said, to your point, this is not something new to these businesses or these towns. You're talking, I think Marlboro may have had it for 10 years. Okay. And the fact that it's been working for 10 years, so I think at the next meeting, if we can have, or Brian, a representative from the organization that puts on this program for a Q&A,
And if you could forward some things from the task force for the council, that'd be great. I mean, I'm down.
Awesome.
I just, maybe like you said, 10 years ago, it was $300 to join. Maybe it's COVID this year. Maybe there's an entry for 1 year for $100. I don't know. It's just throwing it out there.
Yeah. So we'll have, I guess what we'll do is I'd have some information about the program that the task force looked into. I can give you some info that I have. It's pretty limited.
What's the name of the company?
It's FinCredit.
Okay, I got it. I know it. Okay.
So I think it's best to maybe have representatives come in and talk about it. But from what the task force has seen and the research we did, we feel comfortable now to say, hey, listen, council, take a look at this and consider it. So the second thing we've been working on is a potential restaurant week in Howell Township. This is in the earliest possible stages. It's being kicked around. So we'll have more information with that as the months approach.
I like that idea.
Yeah. It's tough. We're limited. We're a municipality, so it's hard. What can we really do as a municipality? And I gotta say, props to this group. They are so creative and they're awesome, and they give a lot of effort to this task force. They take it very seriously. So I'm very happy with them. The third thing is one of the members brought up, and it's unfortunate and it's sad, the realities that this lockdown and that COVID has had on business owners, restaurant owners. It's been a difficult go, for everybody. And one of them had mentioned some people he knew who had issues with substance abuse and addiction and mental stress. And so we're going to start working with the Alliance to provide information to businesses who need it. And that's in the earliest stages as well. It's been hard the last 5 or 6 months as we've been a group with COVID and with the second spike. It's been hard to meet, but we're going to set a set meeting. We're going to meet regularly. We're looking at once a month right now, and I would recommend that we have a public portion where people can write in and kind of give their input as well. And also, Mayor, I'd love to have you and any council members who want to join. Give us your ideas. We're open.
Thank you.
And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Bonovich?
Short agenda. I just want to remind everyone of a great young man. This council, a couple of years ago, we dedicated a day to someone. Be like Jake Honig. So February 5th, I can't believe it's 5 years. He's an inspiration for all of us. It's be like Jake. I just want to remind everyone, in Howell about this young man, how courageous he was. And just to remind everyone that in Howell, February 5th is Jake Honig Day. That's it.
Thank you. Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Thank you. First of all, it's Suzanne Leonard Weitengruber, not Susan. Secondly, you're right, Tommy, in that Councilman Russo. And, several years ago, prior to this administration, they had looked at Shop Howell, and it was cost prohibitive at the time. However, I do remember a few months ago when I attended one of your meetings that the gentleman did come in and do a presentation at that time, which was very informative. So perhaps some of the members from your task force could come and share the same questions they had that day again, so that the council would really have a good idea of some of the things that are really on the businesses' minds, and some of the things that may or may not be a catalyst to joining or not joining. Important to me is at a meeting, it was said that COVID had sort of restricted some of the things done with the roads. And I'm happy to say that that information might have been misleading to the public because while COVID happened last year, we actually paved over 36 miles of road, which was more than had been done, I believe, in 8 to 10 years, maybe 12 years, but I don't want to go that far. an amazing amount of paving had taken place in 2020. So among them, Oak Glen, Point of Woods, Winston Park, Tanglewood, and Candlewood Phase 3 and 4 were completed. As we all know, Freewood Acres was done. And along with that, they did all of the curbing, concrete work, and the drainage work that had to be done. So now in 2021, again, there's an ambitious schedule for about 26 miles worth of work. And I'd be happy to list those roads.
No.
Again, as I say, it would also include Brook Manor and Pine Grove Park, as well as Howell Meadow and Aldridge Estates. And again, not only milling and paving, but they look at concrete work and drainage work. So primary roads and the connector roads, are going to be looked at again. And we expect 26 miles of work this year. But needless to say, the more safety that we have on the roads, the more milling, paving, and work we want done. This council only needs to put that money in the budget so it can be done. So all of that really lies with us. I'm glad you brought up the Shop Howell, Tom, because you're right. That's a very good program to look at again. The other thing was you spoke about the mentoring program several years ago. So not a new idea, but I appreciate the time you've put into that, Councilman, and I know you're still working on that very carefully. And lastly, and very important to me, is last November, I did ask administration to reach out via email to all the council about having a workshop meeting so that this council would decide about things like warehouses and assisted living. And I had asked them if they had heard back, and I think only one person responded with the comment with, "What's the hurry?" So I will say the hurry is that we need to decide the growth of Howell. It's our job. So again, I implore this council to set up a date.
I actually
for a
did
workshop.
reply. Evelyn, I did reply, and it was taking place of a council meeting, and I choose not to do that. If we're going to have discussion, I don't understand why the discussion is not in front of the town. This is
Okay,
general
yeah.
discussions. I mean,
Let me finish the report so that you know the information as I gave it then, and I'll give it again. I'd like a
Okay.
workshop meeting with the council, and it's a public meeting. We don't ever do anything without the public watching. Doesn't mean that we can't vet it, work it, and share ideas. So the public is never excluded from seeing what we do. We're not behind locked doors, but we really need to make that decision. Where are we headed with the growth? Because when something goes to planning board or zoning board, then it becomes somehow misguided through the community with bits of information that may or may not be true, and people are panicked. So that's not fair to anybody, planning, zoning, or the public. So if we would do the job I think we should be doing, which is deciding what the growth is by having a workshop meeting, while the public is certainly visible, we can do it in a format just like this.
Are they able to
And-
speak?
There's no public comment, Mayor.
I think, let me try this one more time. We set the policy, we set the direction. If you want to bring the public in to speak about the direction that we think we're going to go in, certainly. But 50,000 people trying to weigh in on the original workshop meeting, I think might be skewed.
Open up the municipal building. Let the public in. I'm down.
As soon as,
Let them
yeah,
in.
well,
Councilman
Right.
Rodano, and I don't know if anybody saw it, but the chairman of the sub-master plan committee sent an email out today. I'm not
Yes.
quite sure what time it went out. It did come out kind of later in the day, but he actually recommended that we do a traffic study to help us make a decision, obviously, in what direction.
No,
we're
he
going.
said to visit the circulation plan. That's dangerous. Don't do it. Not in favor of
Why
that.
why is it dangerous, Councilman?
Well,
It hasn't been done over 10 years.
for instance, there's some schools and some things that didn't go on because they're sub-connector roads. You reclassify those roads, you're opening up a whole new world to Howell.
But it hasn't been done in over 10 years. You know how much
Is-
growth Howell has had in 10 years?
You're playing with fire.
But that was something that was reiterated from a past employee from the Community Development Department. It's a new time. It's a new generation. We need to start planning ahead for the future of our community. And without that information, how are we supposed to make good decisions?
These subconnector roads, I wish not to reclassify them. I'm sorry.
Well, I think that's something, Brian, if you could give us a cost on what that would cost us to do, to look into that. And then I think that we need to ask the governing body who would like to go in that direction, because I think it's important for us to do so.
Okay, you asked the question. I gave you an answer already.
Okay, but there's 4 other people, John.
Yep.
And
All
I'll
right,
just,
very
and
well.
I believe I still have the floors to report. So let me just go
I'm
back.
sorry, I just wanted
That's
to.
okay. I just don't want to get caught up in the element plan. I read Bovi's email to speak to traffic in a sense, traffic on our interior roads as opposed to Highway 9, for instance. Maybe he meant something different. I don't know what he meant. I'll speak
Sure
with
hope
him.
so.
But what I think is important is that we decide, do we want warehouses? Do we want assisted living? And if we do, where? Because that would actually allay the feelings of 99% of the community and actually give direction to planning and zoning, which I think is a fair statement and a fair ground for these boards and committees to work under. So if we could just have a workshop and talk about, as a council, what do we think the growth of Howell, where's it going? And at the very least, what do we want? What don't we want? And then
Well-
I think we can make some decisions, but I implore you to please, let's make a date to at least talk about these things.
Well, I agree with the public sentiment, but you're not going to accomplish that with a workshop. I mean, there's no discussion there. And to be honest, like, we're doing these Zoom meetings. We don't have the public in here. It's like we should open up the town hall to the public. Now we're doubling down. Now we're doing a workshop meeting where there's no discussion with the public. We can't.
didn't say that.
You're shutting
Councilman-
them out. You are
Councilman, I
shutting out the
didn't say to
public.
shut them out. I said that we
Oh.
need to find a direction.
All right.
We're just
You know,
spinning our wheels.
All right, local operational guidance, COVID-19. Local units must ensure that the public retains the ability to attend and provide comment at public meetings.
Yeah,
They can attend.
I just want to quickly jump in, just very quickly. So under our ordinances, we have a variety of meetings that are sort of scheduled and accounted for. One of them is workshops, and it does require that there be a hearing of the citizens.
Okay.
Of course.
However, again, I still think that we should, as a council, make some decisions.
Have
And
no
based
problem
on
with
those-
it, doing it with the
And then
public there.
based on those decisions, we then, you give it back to the public and get input, just like you do with anything else. But
But
honestly,
I think that it's
we're the
not
ones
just
elected to
council.
make these decisions.
But I
So-
think that there should be guidance from the professionals at that meeting.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
which honestly, planning and zoning board have tons of professionals. And when something comes back to the council, everybody, there seems to be a general feeling of skepticism as to either what's happening, misinformation is out there. And we just need to bring this to a focus and make some decisions and then let all of these professionals come in. God knows we pay a lot of them, so let's start utilizing them.
Well, they should be here right now at this meeting too, because there's always questions.
So what do you want to talk about this at the next council meeting?
Absolutely. Who should be here? We could talk offline. I think that we're always lacking professionals at these meetings. There's questions that come up. They can't be answered by the residents.
Our professionals, we're talking about our professionals,
Yes, I think I made
not
that
the
pretty clear.
contracted ones.
No. Community
Yes,
development.
absolutely.
Yes. I mean, and these are the same professionals that.
Yeah, but there's
give
not been representation on
grants.
the meetings is the
That's
point,
my
I guess.
point.
There's not been no representation
There's
for
9 participants
months.
in this meeting. There's no one from community development. There's no engineers. There's no one here.
Every time planning and zoning board, here's an application. Those professionals that you say that aren't here tonight are in well attendance, giving all of that information at the foundation level. So if you want them to come to a council meeting, that's fine. I think that's a great idea. But I still think that we cannot, at this point or any longer, just let planning and zoning think that, that they can do this or they can't do that. And then it gets kicked up to us and we say, no, let's make some guidelines. It's not fair to public, to the boards, to the applicants. It's not fair to anybody.
Well, I mean, we experienced a lot of that in the past year, Councilwoman. You put forth many a topic and pulled it back multiple
No,
times.
planning board did that. The planning board brought that. It was done a year ago. And I'm sorry that maybe somebody in council may have inflamed the public with misinformation. And that's what I want to avoid. So put it forward, bring it back. The only people that bring it back is the full council.
It's
And
a
we all
game.
voted on that. However-
Brian, excuse me, Councilwoman, is it possible to have someone from community development? If that's the problem here, I'm sure it's an easy fix and asking Matt or Justin or whoever at the time
Or
to come
both.
in. And I
Yeah.
actually had mentioned this to you yesterday, Brian, when we spoke, and I
It was
asked
like that
Justin,
a year ago. It was like that all the time.
what was that?
It was like that all the time. There was always someone from community development.
No, I don't disagree. I just said it yesterday. I spoke to Brian and I asked him if it would be possible if Justin can attend some of our meetings.
Yes, you did. I heard you myself.
So it was something I had addressed as well, and I do. I think that they should be here as well. And I don't know if it's a COVID thing or whatever it is, but I concur. And we can work on that for the next meeting, I hope.
Mr.
Okay.
Deegan, is that possible?
Yes, it is.
I thank you for your input.
Okay. Councilwoman Richmond?
Yes. So I kind of feel like we missed the boat on something, but the mayor, when she was addressing all the teachers and in our town, we're so lucky to have them. Al Miller, the president of the Monmouth County School Board Association, has sent us an email, and I do apologize to him, and I'm on behalf of the governing body, that I think when it came in, it was the timing of it, that January is School Board Appreciation Month. And there was a resolution that, I don't know, Joe, if it's possible, if even though our next meeting is in February, if we could backdate that and do something to show our appreciation to the school board on behalf of Mr. Miller, if that's possible.
I agree. I saw that. I agree.
Yeah, I know. I saw it and then I went to go back to it and,
Yep.
you know, life happens. So I don't know if you saw that, Joe, but I can forward you the email with the resolution attached. Right, yeah, okay. Also, to add on to Councilwoman O'Donnell's road paving and whatever, I know I may have mentioned this before, but we do have something online on our website about potholes. And ironically, I was reading the monthly report and our DPW guys, they filled 346 potholes. And I said to Brian, I hope that's part of the, you know, the process of this, of this online application process to help get these potholes full. So is that part of the process, Brian, or do they just drive through town and fill potholes, or is that application used a lot? That's a lot of
It's
potholes.
a combination of both.
Okay.
We do have a form on our website that our residents can fill out, and that goes directly to Public Works.
Yeah.
Then they also fill them, you know, as they see them as well. So that's what's included in the DPW monthly report. We will be putting something out shortly, as it seems to be that time of year. And we haven't done it in a while to advertise where that can be found on our website.
Yeah, I shared it once or twice before, but that's a lot of potholes. So thank you to our DPW. And I think we should reshare it, especially with this, you know, the cold weather and our seeing a lot of potholes.
Yeah. Do a special social media post on that.
Yeah, exactly. It helps. It definitely helps. DPW may not like it because they have a lot of work to do, but it definitely helps.
They have a truck.
Resolution 9A1, our MRSA.
Wait. We're just doing our own little reports.
I know.
before we get into anything.
Thank you.
They're just short reports.
It's a short report.
Yeah,
I just want to,
please.
oh my goodness gracious.
This
Thank
is
you.
like.
Anyway, I would
like
like-
half an hour. We've not even gotten to
Oh my
the
God,
agenda.
I spoke for 2 minutes. Are you serious?
I understand that. I'm just
Order,
saying-
Joe, excuse me. I have my time with all due respect. Everybody gets to speak. I get to speak, regardless of what I want to talk about. Thank you. So, and of course, because I'm talking about MRSA and nobody wants to hear about MRSA and our shared services, that I'd like to thank our manager, Brian Geegan, and Robert Nicastro, who worked diligently on getting the shared services done. So thank you, Brian. I appreciate your hard work. Thank you. I'm done.
Well,
Brian,
the only thing I want to comment on, Mayor, is the big buzzword these days are vaccines. I would ask the public to refer to our website. We have two different, we advertise the state website and also the county website to register for our residents to be able to register for vaccines. Our OEM has been working with a number of different vendors to try and host it, to bring them to Howell. We did host one for our first responders about 2 weeks ago here at Town Hall, and it was extremely well attended. I know there was an offer from OHI as well to do a drive-by vaccination site, and I believe you put somebody from your office in contact with Victor Cook.
with
our
Victor,
OEM
yeah,
coordinator.
it's we can hit 400 vaccines. We do it in the car. The patient just drives through. As long as we get them registered, and then they drive through, we give them their shot, and they wait for 15 minutes. So I guess Victor and Warren were going to talk about, I guess, a good location, because we need that 15 minutes for people to stay there and wait as well. And if it's seniors, we want them to wait a little bit longer. So yeah, they're going to work on the date and location. And it's a 400 vaccine day. So we'll have 400 vaccines for that day.
Okay. With a lot of the vendors that we have been in contact with, I would tell the public to check our website regularly, because quite often these are done with short notice. As you know, the vaccines come available,
Yeah.
they get a supply of them. We want to get them out quickly. So like the last one that we did for our first responders, that was done with maybe about a day's notice or shorter. So
Well,
just
what we'll
encourage
do is
everyone.
we'll have a special link that we'll give to you, and you could put that on Howell website, and the first 400 that fill it up.
Okay. Very good. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Joe,
Just what we discussed in executive session.
thank you. Is there any further discussion?
Mayor,
As we had during the reports.
Mayor, briefly, I was reading an article about seniors having difficulty accessing or navigating websites to sign up for the vaccine. Is there anything we can do, Brian, at the township level that can make it more user-friendly? I don't know.
So we don't use the state's website. We use that's why we give a link. So it's easy, very, very easy.
Okay.
For the patients. It's not going through the state's website at all.
Is this the Pfizer vaccine, if I might ask?
No, it's not. It's Moderna.
Okay, thank you.
I'll loop in the director of senior services for the town and see if she has anything that she can roll out to facilitate those registrations for people that might have some challenges with accessing technology.
I would suggest, Mayor, maybe we give it to the seniors first, since they're having a
But
problem.
yeah, absolutely. I would. So
And-
I sent an email. I did include a Melanie. I included Brian, Melanie, and Victor. And I asked. But I'm not quite sure that Melanie. I think Melanie wants us to go to the patient's homes, but we can't. That's not something that we can do. We're not licensed to do that. So it has to be at a location where our van is.
Yeah, I would suggest that we do the seniors first. If they're having a
Absolutely.
time, they're scared, they're worried.
I'm sure Melanie's team will help. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Brian, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say that, we'll coordinate that through Victor.
Yeah.
I saw those emails. I think she wasn't understanding what what it was we were looking to get done. So
Yeah,
we'll be able to figure something out
I'm
with
sure.
that and assist with transportation as well.
oh, that would be great. That would be great. Okay, should we open this portion to hearing of the citizens and public comment on the consent agenda?
Before we do, just another reminder that what we discussed at the last meeting, under our ordinances and under our meeting policy, any one person is limited to 5 minutes on their comments. If there's an extension to be given, it has to be voted on by the entire council, and it's limited to 3 minutes.
Okay, any members of the public that wish to address the governing body, please click the raise your hand button, and I will move you individually into the room in the order that I see them. First, I have Tina Smilek. I'm moving her into the room now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, now we can.
Okay. Just want to start, I'm going to be really quick. June 15th, Monmouth Commerce Trial. Did council know about that beforehand? The January 15th? January, sorry.
No, I did not know.
So
I
no
knew that
council-
day.
No council knew about it that before January 15th? Nobody wants to answer, except for the mayor.
Oh, I didn't know. I'll be honest. I didn't know.
Okay.
I did not
Does
know.
the town know before we go to these things? I mean, it would be nice if the residents knew. I mean, we put a lot of energy into supporting what we believe we don't want. So we've requested in the past that the town at least let people know when, like Monmouth Commerce, are we going to know when the transfer station comes up for court and all these things? Or is this just, we just got to keep watching and, you know, we'll inform you because you guys don't know. There's nobody in there that knows that when we have sending lawyers out. Okay.
Joe, Joe, don't you get the schedule if we're going to court for something, or if we have any kind of litigation or discussion? Wouldn't
get
you get
some of
those
them.
schedules?
I don't get all of them. I rely on counsel to inform me, but when we're represented by counsel, I typically won't spend time or money attending. I rely on a report afterwards so that I'm not double billing the taxpayers essentially.
Okay, can the council, can you at least, doesn't council want to know when you're going to court, even if you're not going to be attending? Shouldn't all our council members know when the town's going to court?
We had this discussion earlier today, Ms. Smilek. There's going to be an email to council.
Okay, as long as somebody knows.
And I would also recommend you can check the court's website as well.
Yeah, that's how we found the last one. But 9A, the R2166 for the MRSA agreement. Does council get a yearly review of our shared services so we know whether they're actually a successful shared service or if it's just, I mean, how do you base your success on these shared services? Just saying you have one?
Is there a question about one in particular, or?
No,
I
I
mean,
just,
this
all
one,
of them together, like, is there a, do they get to see what we save by doing the shared service? Or how much we make by a shared service? Or, I mean, is there a basis for why we do these shared services?
each shared service varies widely. Like, for example, we're doing one tonight for the MRSA vehicles to be able to use our fuel. We're going to charge them the cost for fuel and an administrative cost. If there is no usage of it, there's no cost or benefit to Howell. If they do, we'll make a little bit of money based on the administrative charges. However, you know, they're going to be using less fuel because they'll have multiple locations they can fuel up.
Yeah, I would just think, service, it would be nice if maybe council once a year got an update on shared services and where they stand. But
It's actually a really good idea that we would get an update on an annual basis.
I agree.
I mean, if it was your business, you would want to update and know what your services and your money was.
Well, I think
either
that's a
coming or
very good
going.
idea.
So, 987. Both of them, why are we 25,000 on each of them? How did we make an error on $50,000?
This is to correct a clerical error from the resolution on the reorganization meeting. The incorrect amount was placed on those resolutions that were originally passed. So we're just correcting the clerical error to reflect what we actually spent with each of these.
And this is based on a
vendors.
temporary budget, what we need to have on our temporary budget? Or is this based on the year?
This is based on the year.
Okay, so you're allocating for the full year. And who approves the billing for our lawyer fees? Who reviews them and approves it?
I do.
And where are we on the affordable housing contract for Turpac with the additional properties? Has that been updated?
We are discussing it with them. It's still in those stages, so I obviously can't discuss it with you right now. Once something's in place, then the public will be notified.
Okay, so we're moving forward. And road work, we were talking about road work. What was improved in 2020 for 2021 for road work?
Mayor, it's been 5 minutes.
I'm just talking about what you were talking about now. It's less than a minute. I just want to know that. And then workshop meeting, you know, my problem with workshop meeting is I just want you to know, I want to know that you won't make any decisions, any official decisions without public knowing about them beforehand. Because a lot of workshop meetings, they say put on the thing that official decisions can be made by council, and that doesn't leave residents much time to question it. So if you do go to a workshop meeting, could we just make it so no official business can be done on those meetings? And then master plan subcommittee, are they going to be online now because of COVID?
Okay,
Because we should watch.
unless there's a vote of council to extend Ms. Smilek's public comment, it's up.
No, I'm done. I put everything I want, you know, I just like to see the master plan subcommittee online. So have a good day.
Can I
you.
touch on that, Joe? She brought up Turpac in the past. Mr. Bayer, yourself, and Councilman Russo, Deputy Mayor Russo, we all talked about getting a revised development plan on Turpac. So, you know, is that being worked on? What's the status to protect the township?
I couldn't really talk about it in public. I'll put together a short report for everybody, and, you know, and designate it as privileged.
Okay, next up we have Barbara, who wishes to comment. Moving her into the room now. Okay, Barbara, you're in the room to address the governing body. If you could unmute your phone or computer.
Hello?
There you go. Now they can hear you, Barbara.
Okay, thank you. Couple of things. First of all, the Monmouth County freeholders hold a workshop meeting to do their work in the morning. They get it all done, they vote on it, they whatever, and then they have a public meeting and bing, bang, boom, it's voted on, it's done, it's finished. It is my opinion, Councilman O'Donnell, you've been trying to do this for years. In my opinion, you are against the Constitution of the United States of America. The citizens of this town have every right to speak at a meeting, speak at what you're talking about, and there should be never, ever be a workshop meeting where you decide things, and by the time you get to the regular meeting, we have no choice. That's
But
not
Barbara, maybe tone it down a little bit, please?
Okay, and the last time I went to a planning board meeting where something was discussed, the planning board spent 2 hours talking about your decisions, whatever, that the council made to go make certain areas different zones. Don't do it again. Don't suggest it. The planning board said they're the ones who suggested, they're the ones who want it, and send it to the council to vote it up or down. You can't make these decisions on your own or suggest to the planning board what to do or where to do it. They're the ones who said 2 hours worth of agonizing discussion at that meeting that the council has no right to do this. Please, and again, at workshop meetings, you can't get away with this. The citizens of Howell Township have every right to hear you discuss it, open public meetings, hearing of citizens, and when you finish, we're allowed to talk to you, or you talk back to us, but you have a workshop meeting, and you plan workshop meetings, and it all gets discussed at a workshop meeting, and by the time you get to a regular meeting, it's over and done with. That's not fair, and according to me, my opinion, against the Constitution of the United States of America and the right of free speech. I'm done.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Mr. Jerry Barron, who I am moving into the room currently.
Can you hear me?
Yes?
Now we can, Jerry.
I have 2 quick updates I'd like. One is there any news on what's happening with the Optimum contract or so?
No, there's no update.
And then the,
Why isn't there an update? Like, is there nothing to give us, or with all the complaints from the customers?
Right, this has been assigned to Andy Bayer to work on.
Oh, okay,
And-
okay. Yeah. Got it.
are you still going to have non-employees work on the contract when it gets going with the Optimum?
At the appropriate time, we'll be soliciting resident volunteers for that committee.
All right, good. Okay. And just quickly, last time you had a meeting, I asked for a proclamation or resolution for the green team. Is that being worked on?
Do you have a template, Jerry? This is Joe Clark. Do you have a template? Because typically the green team forwards a template resolution for inclusion.
Well, I was going to say on April 17th, 2018, it was done. If you wanted to, you could use the same proclamation, just change 1 or 2 dates.
Okay, then we'll use that one. It's April 17th, 2018.
3 years ago, yeah.
You sound like
correct.
you're in the echo chamber, Joe.
All right, have a good night.
should-
Take care.
Bye, Jerry.
Okay, any other members of the public wish to address the governing body? Please raise your hand. Mayor, I'm not seeing any other requests to communicate.
Okay. May I have a motion for the consent agenda items?
I'd like to make a motion for 9A1, inclusive of 9B2.
I'll make a second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell,
Yes.
Ms. Richmond,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Russo,
Yes.
Mayor Berger,
Yes. 9.1 9C, resolution motion requiring separate vote. 91C, appointment to the municipal green team, member 1-year term, the Shade Tree Commission member, which is Lisa Dowd.
May I ask what happened to Mr. Longo? Was he not appointed?
That's the wrong board.
No, it was the wrong board.
This is the
I'm
green-
referring to the wrong board, or he was
Yes.
appointed to the wrong board?
He was appointed to the wrong board. He was,
Are we on the green team right now?
No,
Yeah,
right
yes.
I'm
now, we're
sorry,
on the
yes,
green
green
team.
team.
Thank you.
Yes, green
Okay.
team.
I'm sorry, my apologies. Yes,
If I
Oh.
may, it's
I'm sorry. Yes,
for
got
the
it.
green team, it's technically a township council appointment. If we could just do the motion and second
yes.
roll call.
Yeah,
What?
Lisa
Have a motion?
Dowd, second.
I'm sorry, did somebody make the motion? I didn't hear.
I'll make the motion for Lisa Dowd.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell,
Yes,
Ms. Richmond,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Russo,
Yes.
Mayor Berger,
yes. 9C2, appointment to Farmers Advisory Committee, member 2-year term, Carolyn Conway. May I
I will
have a
make the
motion?
motion
May I have a
to
second?
accept.
I'll second.
roll call, Mr. Bonovich,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell,
Yes,
Ms. Richmond,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Russo,
Yes.
Mayor Berger,
Yeah. 9C3, appointment of member / representative to the Manasquan River Regional Sewerage Authority. May I have a motion to appoint a member?
I'll make an appointment to make a motion to appoint Rob Nicastro.
May I have a second?
I will second that motion as he's already the present member. A continuum would be in the best interest of the committee.
I also have a comment before we take a vote on this
Sure.
appointment. Just
Sure.
for the record, just to put it on the record, Mr. Nicastro was the only applicant that put in for this appointment. And I just wanted that noted.
Okay.
Thank you.
roll call, Mr. Bonovich,
No.
Mrs. O'Donnell,
Yes,
Ms. Richmond,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Russo,
Yes.
Mayor Berger,
No. 9C4, accept resignation of Planning Board Class 1 member CJ Longo and appoint Class 1 member 1-year term Paul Dorado. CJ was put on both committees. It was an error.
that was my confusion earlier. My apology.
No worries.
Thank you.
Are there any hearings on the ordinances? Any public hearings for the ordinances? There shouldn't be. There's no introduction of ordinances. Do we have any
We have none.
unfinished business?
I have nothing.
Okay. The next regular meeting date is February 9, 2021. Time and format to be announced when the regular and executive will be. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
roll call, Mr. Bonovich,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell,
Yes.
Ms. Richmond,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Russo,
Yes.
Mayor Berger,
Yes, thank you. Have a very nice night. Be safe out there. It's kind of nasty.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Everyone stay dry.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.